In this episode of Detroit Performs, an innovative music university, talented music university students, and art and technology come together in cosmic creations. It's all ahead on this edition of Detroit Performs.
Funding for Detroit Performs is provided by the Fred A. and Barbara M. Erb Family Foundation, the Kresge Foundation, the A. Paul and Carol C. Scott Foundation, the Michigan Council for Arts and Cultural Affairs, the National Endowment for the Arts, and by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to Detroit Performs. I'm your host, DJ Oliver, and today I'm at a college that is brimming with musical talent. It's the Detroit Institute of Music Education, also known as DIME. Now I'll be walking through the halls and performance spaces throughout the show. But right now, let's find out exactly what this school is all about.
When you walk the halls of DIME, you hear incredible music.
You feel the music industry.
Most places measure success in music by complication. So more complicated music is better than simple music. But in the music industry, it's the reverse. Detroit has got the best musical bones of anywhere in the world. So the chance to build a college here was an amazing thing. In 2001 in England, we built 5 colleges there, so that young people had an academic path into the music industry that valued modern music at the same level as traditional music.
We really wanted to help young modern musicians, entrepreneurs and songwriters understand how the business of music works, and that was really the motivation about setting up DIME.
DIME is different because it focuses on the contemporary music industry. A lot of universities, you'll study like one track, you'll do like a classical track or a jazz track. DIME is more fit for students who want to do, pop music or anything along those lines of being in the contemporary music industry.
Much better, okay? It's just amazing how when you really get into it, as far as your character, how much that helps the voice. Yeah.
What you get at DIME is the real deal, what it's really like every day, and how you also have to have entrepreneurial skills to survive in today's industry.
And we want young people to understand it's not just about playing guitar in your bedroom or being the next Beyonce, there's everything in between. There will be some singers who realise they're not as good as some of the other people in their class, and that's okay. Think how you can find your path in the music industry. And it doesn't mean that you will never sing again, it just means that you might do something else as your primary source of income, and that will allow you to continue your singing passion.
Okay, good. Very good. Now, as we go, do, ti, la, just make sure we have a nice blended sound. All right?
Most of our faculty members, if not all, are all practicing musicians. And so we're all familiar with what it takes to have a career, have your 9 to 5, and also pursue this dream.
When I leave class, most of the times on the weekend, I'm going to the airport to catch a flight to go do a one-off or a tour date with one of the artists that I work with. So I'm able to bring that experience back to the classroom Monday morning, and that's one of the things that separates DIME and makes it unique.
The degree that DIME students get is a Bachelor of Arts in Commercial Music Performance or Commercial Songwriting or Music Industry Studies. And the degrees are awarded through Metropolitan State University of Denver.
If you're a performance major, you'll take a class that's called Live Performance Workshop, where you have to learn a different song each week. In songwriting, they take classes like lyric writing, foundations of songwriting, writing for artists. And then for music industry studies, some of their main classes are like domestic music market, international music market, politics of A&R, establishing an artist. So just kind of getting a feel for different aspects of being behind the scenes and not being on stage.
We want students in their first week, when they enroll on the program, to feel like they've already entered the music industry. So it was really important to build a building that feels inspiring, that's full of music, that has vintage and new equipment everywhere that students can trial and test.
We don't have classrooms, we have studios. So when we go in the studio, we're working, we're vibing, we're collaborating.
We often describe Dime like a development deal. So we say, during your 4 years, come here and make all your mistakes. Use Dime, the program, and your academic studies to figure out who you want to be, so when you graduate, you're going to get that job that you want.
Yeah, come on, there we go. Funky drummer.
I try to be relentless at making sure I empower them to know that you can make music. You can turn this music into a passion and make it a career.
It's really important for us to open our doors to the city, and we wanted Dime to feel like anyone in the city is welcome in these four walls.
We saw the basement here, and because I'm from like deep jazz world, we modelled this on Charlie Parker's club. That kind of speakeasy, open door attitude about there's music going on here and anyone can walk in off the street.
All our events are free, and if someone enjoys the show, we have a student scholarship fund. They can put a couple of bucks in to say thank you. Because we are the Detroit Institute of Music Education, we're taking that tagline all round the world with us. So we have now just built a college in Denver. It's called Dime Denver, but it's powered by the Detroit Institute of Music Education. So we are trying to fly the flag for all Detroit performers within Detroit and also outside of Detroit, and tell the world what an incredibly talented city this is.
And we've also got Dime Online, which is in 23 countries right now.
And that's also powered by
It's
Detroit.
also powered by Detroit.
One of our mottos is like simple done well. So being able to really take on a song and communicate it to the point where it just feels like you're just having a good time, and you're really like touching the person with your music. You have all of these tools in your tool bank, but you make it look effortless. And so I think that is one of the things that we try to get across here at Dime.
You're here by my side.
Now that we know how Dime is bringing the music industry to students right here in Detroit, let's check out the talent taking classes here. Next up, we see how songwriter Julia Sherwin, drummer Chris Kashuba, and vocalist Jamila Minter and Devin Whitson are taking advantage of the professional music training at Dime.
The concert was over in Carnegie Hall. The maestro took bow after bow. He said, "My dear friends, I have given my all. I'm sorry, it's all over now."
The message from Dime is make your own opportunity. Any one of these artists that you're going to meet today, if someone puts $1 million behind them, they will sell as many records as Alan Stone, as
Alicia Cara,
as Alicia, as any of them, because they're amazing.
Oh, baby,
And the difference between the ones who do it and the ones who don't are the ones that get opportunity.
I've been playing piano since I was 7, and I ended up going to college for business because I thought that was the right thing to do. I took an elective songwriting class there and realized, okay, I think this is what I meant to do. I really love this. This is my niche.
my lips begin to burn and my heart beats faster than the normal pace.
I started singing at the age of 3, not seriously, of course, but just singing because it's in my heart. Music just really stuck with me, and that was before I even knew that I could make it a career. That was before I knew that this could be a real thing.
Oh, Mr. Paganini, please play my Rhapsody.
Well, I always say that I've been singing since before I could talk. I actually wanted to try to pursue it and really feel like it was what I was meant to do.
There's nothing else I'd rather be doing than playing music. I've been playing for 24 years now. I was just playing in cover bands over the years and jam bands with friends, having a good time, and then stumbled upon Dime, and it's just forwarded my experience and talent even further.
he's going to be amazing. He works hard. Every time we get back to class that Monday, before we play anything, we talk, how was your weekend? What did you do? And his list of what he's done. Oh, I played 2 gigs here, and I DJ'd a wedding, and then I did this gig, and then I had a studio session, and I'm just like, wow, this guy's working.
The one thing that stuck with me that he said on the first day of orientation, and I remind myself of it all the time, is hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And I try to live by that every day to be able to be successful and provide for myself.
He is now the go-to for anyone who wants an incredible drummer. And he really understands that kind of mentality of training to be a session musician and being flexible. He's brilliant, he's brilliant.
Being behind the kit definitely is my safe place because I've been playing for so long. So there's definitely a lot of confidence that the drums bring in with my performing. Just with timing, being able to play in odd meters, some really complex stuff that I never thought I'd be able to do.
Every time he steps on that stage, I know what I'm going to get. I'm going to get the consistency, I'm going to get the dedication. He studies, he learns, he listens.
He's a super talented drummer, but he's also just a really awesome dude. He's really chill, you know, and I really appreciate that because I can be a lot sometimes, so I appreciate somebody who can balance just, you know, when I talk to him, I'm just like, you're a good guy.
I heard your repertoire and at the final bar.
My life has pretty much revolved around the voice and music and trying to make things better through that. I think that music, particularly singing, is like a universal language, and I think that's one of the things that keeps me going with singing and just like knowing that like I can connect with people through that.
Devin Wissa, that's my guy, man. He's a good guy, and I've seen him grow so much since he's been here. He was talented when he walked in the door, but now that talent has been groomed, it's been polished.
Now let me blow your mind.
When I'm on stage, honestly, nothing can touch me. Nothing. I feel nothing except for love and like passion, and sometimes hurt. But that's where I can cry if I want to. That's where I can be angry about something if I want to. In everyday life, I don't necessarily get to do it all the time.
I think with Devin, the main thing was just kind of like building up his confidence. So kind of like getting him to figure out what his niche was and how can he stand out and make a name for himself.
I have to be willing to be vulnerable myself, and that's something I'm still learning.
A mournful cry.
Much better. Did that feel better?
Yes.
It just felt like you were telling a story.
When I was working with Devin, he was singing a jazz song, which Devin is really, really good at jazz, and it's something that he's done in his past. But it's about kind of like applying those techniques that he's learned in his first and second year as just like a music practitioner, and now applying it again to this jazz song. So kind of taking it to the next level.
So take a deep breath and make sure you place the vibe before you sing it.
Listen, Paganini, we breathlessly await your masterful baton. Go on and sling it.
The song is Mr. Paganini, you have to swing it. It's most notably done by Ella Fitzgerald, who is one of my biggest vocal inspirations.
Listen, Paganini, please play my rhapsody.
I think the biggest thing I've learned here is, as far as vocally, is just take care of my voice. I'm still working on building new habits and then breaking old ones that I had. And so I think that's something I'm always like working at, just trying to create a routine for my voice. Because I mean, like I said, I only get one, and I want to keep it for a very long time.
Julia Shuren, she's not playing, she's serious. She wants it.
What I've noticed about Julia is that she's like immensely talented and very humble and a very hard worker. And so like she's a sponge. So she just like takes everything in and uses it.
You can tell the students that are a little more focused, a little more mature than the others, a little more aggressive towards accomplishing that goal, and that's definitely Julia.
She sounds like Celine Dion when she sings to me. I'm like, sing.
I write a bit of everything. I'm kind of inspired by every genre. I kind of like to take elements out of all of these genres and kind of make it into my own fusion. So I would say that my main genre is a pop jazz, funk, fusion. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we practice at 1 p.m. and we go through my original songs. The funky, groovy one was called Wait for Your Love. And the second one was the one that I wrote in French. That one's kind of just about, you know, growing up and staying true to who you are. I love lyrics and I'm all about lyrics, but I really love the musicality of songwriting and really just the arrangement of the chords and everything. That's my passion.
We have a show here called Live and Lyrical, and it is tailored mainly for songwriters. We invited Paul Reiser down, and he picked out Julia within a second and said, I love that girl and I want to work with her.
Paul Reiser is one of the unsung heroes of Detroit. He's the in-house arranger at Motown. So when he makes a call on Julia, it's the real thing.
Suspended animation, I'm lost inside of you.
Jamelia Minter, she's an incredible vocalist. She has really embraced the curriculum and looked to sing, understood singing as many different styles as possible is going to make her more employable in the music industry. And we had an opportunity to invite Alicia Cara to Dime last year, and Jamelia actually sang for her and then invited her on stage and they did a little duet together.
Alicia Cara, she won a Grammy for the Best New Artist. I did one song, and then after I invited her up to come along, and she was like, well, only if you perform it with me. And I was like, well, hey, I mean, you don't have to tell me twice. So that was an amazing opportunity.
How did it ever come to this? I should've never come to this. So holler at me, I'll be in the car when you're done. I'm standoffish.
Jamila's one of those students who is still kind of realizing her potential and realizing how good she is. Yeah, she came in like that. And so for her, it's just kind of like making sure that she still pushes herself and doesn't get complacent, but at the same time also realizes how far she's come and like how good she actually is.
It's here, it's at the peak. And then when you finish your phrase, it should be tapering off. And then you're getting ready for the next phrase.
Okay.
Okay? So just think of like this nice little journey, like a trajectory.
In class, I was working on Out on a Limb by Tina Marie, and Tina Marie is quite the artist. So her songs, you know, she's iconic. And so we were just working on my approach and my character and be authentic to her, but also be authentic to myself.
I honor her because she's great and she's a hustler. She has a couple more years left here at Dime, so she's gonna be amazing as well.
She's one of those people who's gonna be like a triple threat, you know, quadruple threat, because she's just so good at multiple things.
My plans once I graduate are to definitely get picked up for some sort of major tour as a backing band drummer, but also I'd like to get into some session and studio work.
It feels like a superpower when I have these beautiful chords together, and it makes me feel a certain way, and so that's why I want other people to hear it, because I want them to feel that too.
I want to do these things, but I want to make sure that my voice is heard in a light that people know that I love them.
I never blink back at fireflies would do.
Ooh, you've got me spinning around.
My ultimate goal is to be a creative director, be able to share art and express whatever messages I'm trying to get out, or even what other people are trying to get out. I'm just like a firm believer in like there is a place for you, and that's like my number one message. I just want people to feel like they can be themselves.
Now let's check out some upcoming events happening in and around the D. Animator John Levy marries technology with art to create cosmic images. Levy is an animation creator for NASA and for movies and television shows like Lost, one of my favorites too. Take a look.
A lot of people know about visual effects and sophisticated graphics from the movies, from television. There's a general perception in the public about this kind of work can only be done in Hollywood. We're here in Hampton, Virginia, and we've collected a group of guys from across the country, and we use the latest tools, latest technologies, and bring that Hollywood level of graphics to the work we do here. I'm John Levy, Studio Director of NASA's Advanced Concepts Laboratory here at AMA Studios. The tagline for AMA Studios is design and story at the forefront of technology. What the technology component means is the target's always moving. There's always a new computer, there's always a new way of communicating. VR is the latest and greatest. It's been around for years actually, but it's back in the spotlight. AR for augmented reality. There's always another tool in 3D graphics. There's always another piece of hardware to learn. We wield the tools. We are experts at these tools. And at the same time, that's not what it's about. It's not about those tools at all. It's about messaging. It's about concepts and connecting with people. I won an Emmy for my work on Lost, visual effects for the pilot of Lost. It was a great day. Red carpet, celebrities, limos, and people, they see that and you get some pats on the back, but working here at NASA is a lot longer lasting. I moved here from Portland, Oregon, and I moved here because I want to contribute to something more lasting, something more significant. I want to take my skill set and kind of bring it full circle, bring it back to design, bring it back to making a lasting impact. It's a joy to wake up, it's a joy to participate in this process, it's a joy to work with people here and the ideas and capture that in a video and see our customers, see the engineers' excitement when they see their idea embodied, when they see their idea on the screen and they share it with people. Art is artifact, it's a thing. It needs to stand on its own. If it's a painting in a gallery hanging on the wall, you don't get to stand next to it and explain to people what your painting's about. Art is also the execution, the quality, the craftsmanship, and it's the concept. So if you have a piece of art that's beautiful but has no meaning behind it, it's flat, it doesn't last, it's not that interesting. If you have a piece of art that has a lot of meaning and significance but it's ugly, no one's going to look at it. And so what we do when we create is we marry the concept with a beautiful execution. That's when it has legs. That's when people see it. That's when people are engaged and interested in the product. I would also say that traditional media, knowing how to draw, knowing how to paint, is really important because the computer may render an image and it's technically accurate, and then the light's here and the ground's here, but it's ugly. The computer doesn't know it's ugly. And so you have to have that traditional art background to be able to make a judgment call and say, I think it should look like this, and then you have to wrestle with the computer to make it look like that. So I went to school for automotive design. Automotive design school is really car drawing school. So for years doing car drawing school. And in the early days of car design, they would use hand painting. They'd do gouache and pencil and they'd illustrate car design. It's similar here at NASA. In the 70s, in the shuttle program, for example, they would do beautiful renderings of the conceptual spacecraft. It's cool stuff. I love it. I love looking at that old artwork. What we bring now is on top of making it beautiful, what we bring now is, because it's 3D, we can actually explode the 3D model and look at the parts and pieces. We can integrate landing gear and jet engines, and we can lay out how it looks. We can spin it around and look at it at different angles. And it's a marriage of CAD, computer-aided design from an engineering world, with beautiful renderings that communicate. It's magic.
And that wraps it up for this edition of Detroit Performs. As always, for more arts and culture, head to DetroitPerforms.org, where you'll find featured videos, blogs, and information on upcoming arts events. Also, check us out on Facebook and Twitter. I'd like to thank the Detroit Institute of Music Education for having us here at their school. Now, if you're interested in a music career, I strongly urge you to check this place out. I just can't wait to see all the talent that comes out of this place as the years go by. Until next Tuesday, get out there and show the world how Detroit performs, y'all. I'm DJ Oliver. Thanks for watching, guys.
Funding for Detroit Performs is provided by the Fred A. and Barbara M. Erb Family Foundation, the Kresge Foundation, the A. Paul and Carol C. Scott Foundation, the Michigan Council for Arts and Cultural Affairs, the National Endowment for the Arts, and by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.